by pulling my heavy equipment off the trailer bed and firing up the roaring engine of my commercial zero-turn mower, which instantly shattered the quiet afternoon silence of the street. As I pushed straight into the towering green wall, I navigated the heavy machine carefully across the dense lawn, meticulously carving out clean, beautiful borders and reclaiming the concrete pathways that had been completely buried under thick dirt, rotting roots, and wild thorns for years without any maintenance. The punishing summer heat was absolutely draining under the bright blue sky, and sweat was pouring down my face underneath my cap. But the pure adrenaline of restoring the sweet woman's freedom and breaking her long cycle of fear kept me pushing forward through the blinding dust and flying debris. However, as I pushed deeper into the property, my equipment hit an obscured, rusted metal valve housing that had been completely reclaimed by the earth years ago. The impact produced a sickening, violent metallic crash, followed instantly by a massive geyser of water that began shooting for feet into the air, flooding the yard and turning the area into a muddy, bubbling swamp in a matter of seconds. My heart sank instantly, knowing that I had just caused a major, expensive structural accident for a woman who was already living on the absolute edge of financial ruin. Instead of panicking or walking away, I immediately shut down the power, ran to the main water shutoff to stop the flow, and spent the next 3 hours on my hands and knees in the thick, suffocating mud. Working alongside a professional plumber, I called in to repair the damaged underground infrastructure at my own total, significant expense. I refused to let Mrs. Miller pay a single cent for a mistake that occurred while I was trying to help her, and I stayed well past sunset to ensure that the pipes were completely sealed. The irrigation was restored, and the entire perimeter of the yard was finally cleared, leveled, and manicured to absolute perfection. Once the main lawn areas were flattened and looking absolutely immaculate, I moved down into the narrow side pathways to confront the massive piles of overgrown vines and wild brush that had accumulated against the house structure. Using my string trimmer to slice away the stubborn weeds around her delicate wooden porch columns, it was brutal, back-breaking labor as I wrestled with the sharp, jagged edges of the discarded materials, lifting the heavy debris out of the dirt and hauling them piece by piece over to my truck bed, making sure not to leave a single dangerous obstruction behind, until the entire walkway leading directly to her door was fully exposed, wide open, and perfectly level. To finish the job to absolute perfection, I strapped on my high-powered leaf blower and swept through the entire property, blasting away every last stray leaf, dirt clump, and stray grass clipping from her weathered walls, her foundation, and her front patio until the entire estate looked pristine, open, and beautiful. When Mrs. Miller walked out to the porch the following morning and saw the clean, open, and safe space where the dangerous jungle used to be, she stood there in total shock, tears of sheer relief streaming down her cheeks as she told me that the weight of the entire world had finally been lifted from her broken back, and she could finally breathe easily knowing that the physical memories of her marriage had been lovingly restored by a stranger. This unexpected struggle serves as a powerful reminder that when we commit to helping the most vulnerable members of our community, we must be prepared to own our mistakes and take full responsibility for the outcomes, no matter the cost or the intense physical effort involved. It leads me to ask you a very difficult and provocative question that requires your immediate feedback. In a world where our elderly neighbors are often just one single unforeseen accident away from losing their homes to city fines and foreclosure, do you believe that we have a collective, non-negotiable moral obligation to treat every single property restoration as a total, lifelong commitment, even if it means risking our own finances and reputation to fix unexpected disasters? Or should we simply stay within the boundaries of our initial promise and walk away? If things go wrong, please let me know your honest, unfiltered perspective in the comments section below. And if you truly believe in the importance of showing up for the seniors who are fighting to maintain their dignity, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video across your social media, because your incredible support is the only thing that allows us to stay on the road and continue these vital rescues. And thank you so much for watching.